Welcome to part 3 of our 4-part series on how to stay warm while we're fly fishing, while we're on the water, and in these wet and damp environments. Today we're talking about the material choices and how they make a big difference and how you can select the right ones for you. Now, it's very important to know that all materials are not made equally, and that's a big part of what we're about to talk about. So we're going to tell you about what we don't wear and what we do wear in place of it, and some other factors you want to consider when looking at your garments as well. Now, the first one we don't wear is cotton. Cotton is warm, it's fluffy, it's great. Those new track pants with that new sweatshirt, they feel amazingly warm and cozy, but you get those wet and you'll be in trouble pretty quickly in the outdoors. There is an adage in the outdoors that is cotton kills, and it's there for a reason. We use it for a reason. When cotton gets wet, it holds on to moisture, it doesn't release it, holds it next to our skin and near our bodies and just keeps us cold. It's not great. So in place of cotton is that we wear fleece. Now, fleece can be from a next to skin layer to a mid layer to a thermal layer, and all different forms of it. It's great stuff. It stays warm when it's wet. It sheds water. It's a great fabric to have out there. It wicks moisture away from you and keeps you warm. That's the key principle here. Next is we don't wear down. Down is a fantastic material in dry environments. So if you look at alpinists, if you look at folks that are in very dry areas and dry activities, down is superior. It feels instantly warm. It keeps you super cozy, and it performs extremely well in the outdoors in dry environments. Now you're bringing a lot of moisture into the environment, into saturation, and that down is absolutely worthless to us. The down will then collapse when it's wet. You lose all that loft, all that warm space, all the insulation. So we do not wear down in the outdoors in those wet environments. Even if you have a great shell over top, down can still get a little damp and saturate, so even consider not wearing it even under a shell in those wet environments as well. So what we do wear is something called Primaloft, and you'll probably see Primaloft in things like this, the Sims Fall Run Jacket series, other Sims products. Patagonia's Nanopuff jackets and Nanopuff Airs, they have a Primaloft material, which is a synthetic and artificial down. It's fantastic stuff. It stays warm when it's wet. It also sheds water quite well, and it does wick moisture out to your outer layers and out into the environment as well. So Primaloft is great, synthetic down, fantastic stuff. Now, other considerations we look at as well is what the materials are made of, and some materials don't have the same content as others. A great example is this. Sims has two types of socks in the market right now. There's a thermal sock and there's also a mid-weight sock. The mid-weight is not as warm as a thermal, and what makes a big difference is it's the amount of wool in that sock. So you're dealing with about a 20% difference of wool on the thermal to the mid-weight. So look at the content of what's in your sock, the makeup, and that'll make a big difference in terms of the material choice as well. So next is about your outer shell too. So now outer shells are very important. That's your last layer between you and the outdoors. And it's going to be ideally a breathable membrane like Gore-Tex or Tori or another breathable material. It's going to keep water away from you. So we wear these if it's going to be raining, you get a bit of a drizzle, you get splash up from the water, and even if you take a spill, that waterproof layer can really help you from getting saturated and extremely cold. So look at the breathable waterproof materials that are also DWR coated to help that water shed and not absorb into your shell as well. It's called wetting out. We want to avoid that too. And also, it's a great tip here is that the color choice of your fabrics makes a fairly big difference too. Dark colors absorb more heat. So when I look at layers for cold environments, I'm looking at dark colors. That's black, brown, dark blues, dark purples, even dark greens, but I avoid those lighter colors like whites and yellows and those lighter colors. If I do want to stay cooler in the outdoors, I'll wear lighter colors. I want to stay warmer, I will wear darker colors. And that includes like ice fishing, snowshoeing, hiking in cool temperatures, and if you're on the water in any cooler season, dark colors will absorb more heat and keep you warmer as well. Stay tuned for our next part of this, or part 4 in our 4-part series about some great tips on how to stay warm, including how antiperspirant can keep your feet warmer when you're out in the outdoors. We'll see you soon.